Most people over 65 are told the same thing when a new prescription slides across the desk. Just take it as directed. It sounds sensible. It sounds safe. But here is what nobody tells you. Taking it as directed alone does not protect your independence. More than 4 in 10 adults over 65 now take 5 or more prescription medicines every single day. A landmark analysis published in the New England Journal of Medicine found that a small handful of common medication groups accounted for roughly 2/3 of emergency hospital admissions for drug side effects in older adults. Those were not exotic drugs. They were ordinary ones, taken exactly as directed by people doing everything right. So today, I am giving you 5 questions to ask before you swallow the first pill of anything new. Each one takes under 30 seconds to say out loud, and each one changes what happens next. The number 1 question on this list is something almost nobody talks about. Stay with me until the end, because that one can change how you approach the next 10 years. Here is the problem, and it is not your doctor's character. It is arithmetic. A typical appointment runs 12 to 15 minutes. A new prescription can be written in 90 seconds. Stopping a medicine takes a conversation, a plan, and a follow-up visit. So prescribing is fast and unprescribing is slow. Your cardiologist adds one, your urologist adds one, your surgeon adds one after the operation. Nobody in that chain is looking at the whole list at once. I want to be clear before we go further. I am not here to sell you a supplement or scare you into a course. This channel exists to give you the science a 12-minute appointment never has time to cover. I am also not here to talk you out of your medicines, because most of them are doing exactly what they were meant to do. The risk here is never dramatic. It is quiet. A pill makes you slightly dizzy, the dizziness makes you grip the rail, and gripping the rail makes you stop walking down to the mailbox at all. Before we start, tell me 2 things in the comments: your age, and how many prescription medicines you take each day. Now here is the one mechanism behind all 5 questions. A dose that suits a 50-year-old body is often too much for a 75-year-old body, even when nothing at all is wrong with you. With age, we carry less body water and proportionally more fat. The liver processes more slowly. The kidneys filter less. So the very same pill stays in circulation longer and lands harder. Think of your body as a small town with a water treatment plant. In your 40s, that plant runs 3 full shifts. So whatever arrives is cleared by morning. By 75, it is running 1 shift and a half. The delivery truck has not changed at all. It still drops the same load every single day. The plant simply cannot clear it at the old speed, and the level in the reservoir creeps up. Please do not skip this section. It is the key to everything that follows, because all 5 questions are really one question wearing 5 different coats. Is this dose right for the body I have today? Aging is not the side effect. Dosing is not a guess. Your list is not fixed. If this is already making sense to you, tap the like button so more seniors can find it. That is genuinely how this reaches the people who need it most. Question number 5. What number are we trying to change, and by when will we know it worked? Ask it exactly like that, out loud, before you leave the room. Here is why that wording matters so much. Most medicines for people our age are not aimed at how you feel. They are aimed at a number on a page: blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, bone density, thyroid. If you never learn the target number, you cannot tell success from side effect, and neither can anyone else. It is like being handed a car with no speedometer and told to drive safely. You will still be moving. You will be guessing the entire way. Can you name right now the target number for the medicine you take most often? Most people cannot, and that is not their fault. Guideline bodies have moved steadily toward individualized targets in older adults. The right blood pressure number for a robust 70-year-old is often not the right number for a frail 88-year-old. Your doctor already knows that. The number simply has to get said out loud. So here is the protocol. Ask 3 parts: the number now, the number we want, and the date we check. Write all 3 on one index card the moment you hear them, not later in the car. Then ask what happens if we do not reach it. because that answer tells you whether this is a 2-week trial or a 20-year commitment. Bring that card to every follow-up for the next 12 months and take one reading at home under identical conditions each time. Same arm, same chair, same time of morning, 5 minutes of sitting first. If asking 3 questions in a rushed room feels like too much, do the small version. Write the words "what number," "by when" on the back of your appointment card and hand the card over. If hearing makes the answer hard to catch, ask for it written on your printout. Every clinic can do that, and here is the stop condition. If you get home and realize you never learned the target, do not wait and do not guess. Call the office and ask the nurse, because a medicine with no target is a medicine nobody is checking. Pair this question with a single home log. A cheap notebook by the kettle, 1 line a day, date and number. It doubles the value of the question because you arrive at the next visit carrying data instead of impressions. Doctors change plans for data far faster than they change plans for feelings. But knowing the target still leaves one thing wide open. It tells you where you are going. It does not tell you how long the trip takes, and for a medicine started at 78, that gap decides whether the benefit ever arrives at all. Question number 4. How long until this actually helps me, and how long will I need to take it? This is the time to benefit question, and it is one of the most useful questions in all of geriatric medicine. Every preventive medicine has a waiting period built into it. Something for pain can work within the hours. Something that prevents a heart attack or a fracture may take 2, 3, even 5 years before the benefit outweighs the burden of taking it. Researchers call that the time to benefit, and it can be measured. Think of it as planting a fruit tree in the yard. Nothing is wrong with the tree, but if what you needed was shade this summer, an awning would have served you better. Published analyses in the geriatric literature have estimated time to benefit for several common preventive treatments, and the range runs from months to many years. That is not an argument against prevention. It is an argument for knowing which clock you are on. Here is how to ask it without sounding like you are refusing care. Say that you are happy to take it, and you would just like to know roughly how long before it is helping, and when you would review whether to continue. Then ask for a review date, and ask for it to be written in the notes. A sensible rhythm is a full list review every 12 months and sooner within 4 to 6 weeks for anything newly started. Put that 12-month review in your calendar the same day you fill the prescription. And if you take more than 5 daily medicines, ask whether a pharmacist review is available, because in many places it is free and badly underused. The small version, if the visit is running out of time, is 1 sentence. When do we review this? 4 words does the work of 4 minutes. If you are the family member on the phone rather than in the room, ask for the review date to be added to the after-visit summary so it exists in writing. Now the stop condition, and this one truly matters. Never treat a long time to benefit as permission to stop a medicine on your own, because some drugs cause real harm when stopped abruptly, and that decision belongs in a conversation. Pair the review date with your annual flu or fall prevention visit, so it happens whether or not you remember it. 1 trip, 2 jobs. That pairing works because a booked review is the only thing standing between a temporary prescription and a permanent one. Still, both questions so far assume the medicine is doing what the label promises. The next one deals with harm arriving while the medicine works perfectly, wearing a disguise so ordinary that most people apologize for it instead of reporting it. And it is the last step before the number 1 question. Question number 3. Which side effects of this will look exactly like normal aging? Ask that one and watch the posture in the room change, because it is a question doctors wish more patients asked. Here is the trap. The most common side effects in older adults are not rashes and not dramatic reactions. They are dizziness, confusion, dry mouth, constipation, fatigue, and slight unsteadiness on standing. Every one of those is also what people expect from simply getting older. So the side effect gets filed under aging, nobody reports it, and the medicine carries on. It is a smoke alarm chirping in a house where everyone decided that houses just make noises. The American Geriatric Society publishes something called the Beers Criteria. It is a regularly updated list of medicines carrying higher risk in adults over 65. Ask whether anything you are starting appears on it. That is not a challenge to your doctor. It is exactly the question the list was written for. Now the protocol, and this is the one to actually do this week. For the first 14 days on anything new, keep a 2-line note each evening. How steady you felt, and how clear your thinking felt, each scored 0 to 10. 14 days, 2 numbers, 30 seconds a night. Then do a standing blood pressure check twice in that period, and do it properly. Sit quietly for 5 minutes with your back supported and feet flat. Take a reading, then stand and take another at 1 minute and again at 3 minutes. A drop of about 20 points in the top number or 10 points in the bottom number is worth reporting. Report it as a number, not as feeling a bit off, because a number gets acted on. Safety first on that standing check. Do it beside a kitchen counter or with a sturdy chair directly behind your knees and have someone in the house the first time you try. If the room tilts, sit down immediately. Sit first, take the reading second, and never push through a spin to finish a measurement. And the stop condition for this whole item. Any new confusion, any fall, any near fall, or any fainting after starting a medicine is a same-day phone call, not a next visit topic. Pair the 14-day log with your pharmacist, not only your doctor. Pharmacists see the whole list across every prescriber, and their entire training is the medicine itself. 10 minutes at that counter with a written log beats 20 minutes of trying to remember. But there is a reason those aging shape side effects appear in the first place, and it is rarely bad luck. Very often it is arithmetic. The right medicine at a dose the body can no longer clear. That is the next question, and it quietly protects your brain and your kidneys at the same time. Question number 2. Is this dose adjusted for my kidney function and my body weight? Say the word kidney out loud because it changes what gets checked. Kidney filtration falls gradually with age in most people, even in perfect health. And here is the part almost nobody is told. The standard blood test for kidney function, creatinine, depends on muscle. If you have lost muscle over the last decade, and most people over 75 have, your creatinine can read comfortably normal, while your true filtration has dropped a long way. It is like judging a river by the water at the bank, while the channel in the middle has silted up. The reading looks fine, the flow is not. This is why laboratories now report an estimated filtration rate alongside creatinine. On your results page, it is often printed as the letters EGFR. Many drug labels list dose adjustments at specific filtration levels, and those adjustments exist because somebody studied exactly this. They only help if somebody looks. Here is your protocol. Ask for 2 numbers from your most recent blood work, your estimated filtration rate, and the date it was drawn. If that date is more than 12 months old and you are starting something new, ask whether it should be repeated first. Then ask the direct version. At my filtration, is this the standard dose or the reduced dose? Also say your current weight out loud, because losing 10 to 15 pounds since the last prescription can change what an appropriate dose looks like, and clinic records run years behind your bathroom scale. And ask one more thing. Does this medicine need a blood test in the first month? And if so, can we book it before I leave today? The short version, if you remember nothing else, is 12 words. What is my filtration rate, and does this dose account for it? If you cannot reach the office, most systems now let you view your own results online, and the filtration rate sits directly under the creatinine. A family member can read it to you in under a minute. Stop condition. A sharp drop in how much water you pass, sudden swelling in both ankles, or new unusual confusion after a dose change is a call today, not wait and see. Pair the kidney question with a steady hydration habit, because dehydration and reduced filtration compound each other very quickly in hot weather. Spread fluid across the day rather than drinking large amounts at once. Ask your doctor what your personal limit should be if you take a water tablet or have heart failure, because the dose that is safe in April can be too strong in a dry August. Now, everything so far has assumed that each medicine on your list treats a condition you actually have. Hold that thought because the number one question is where that assumption falls apart. It is the question I promised you in the first minute. And once you have heard it, you will start seeing it on almost every medication list you look at. Question number 1. the one I promised you from the very beginning. Could this new medicine be treating a side effect of a medicine I already take? There is a name for what that question catches, and the name is a prescribing cascade. A prescribing cascade works like this. A medicine causes a side effect. The side effect is not recognized as a side effect. It is read as a brand new condition. So a second medicine is prescribed to treat it. That second medicine has side effects of its own, and if one of those is missed, a third medicine arrives. Nobody made an obvious error at any single step. Every prescription in the chain looked reasonable on its own, and that is exactly why cascades survive. They are built entirely out of sensible decisions. Picture a house where somebody paints over a damp ceiling stain every single spring. The ceiling looks perfect each time, and the leak in the roof has never once been touched. Look at your kitchen counter right now. How many bottles can you see from where you are sitting? The prescribing cascade is not a fringe idea. It is a described and well-studied pattern in the medical literature. The classic teaching example is a blood pressure medicine that causes ankle swelling, followed by a water tablet prescribed for the swelling, followed by the side effects of that water tablet. Geriatricians teach this pattern because it is common and because it stays invisible until somebody asks the question. So here is the fullest protocol in this video, and it takes about 20 minutes at your kitchen table. First, do a brown bag review. Put every single thing you take into one bag. Prescriptions, over-the-counter tablets, vitamins, herbal supplements, eye drops, creams, inhalers, all of it, including the ones you take only once a week. Second, on one sheet of paper, make 4 columns. The name of the medicine, what it is for, the year you started it, and who prescribed it. Third, and this is the column that finds cascades, right beside each one the month and year it began. Then look for any medicine that started within 3 months after another one started. That 3-month window is where cascades hide. Fourth, take the bag and the sheet to a single appointment and ask it in plain words. Is anything on this page treating a side effect of something else on this page? Fifth, ask whether any of these can be reviewed for deprescribing. That is the real clinical word, and using it tells your doctor you are asking for a plan and not a fight. And here is the mistake almost everyone makes. They bring the prescriptions and leave out the over-the-counter items, and the over-the-counter items are involved in cascades constantly. If 20 minutes at the table is too much in one go, break it into 3 sittings of 7 minutes across a week. 1 for gathering, 1 for writing, 1 for checking dates. If small print is hard on your eyes, have a family member photograph each label and read them aloud to you. That is a perfect job for the adult child who keeps asking how they can help. If you cannot get a long appointment, a community pharmacist can do this review, and in many places you can walk in for it. Now the stop conditions, and they are absolute. Do not stop, skip, have, or space out any medicine while you wait for that review. Not 1 dose. Deprescribing is a supervised process with a taper for many drugs, and stopping the wrong thing suddenly is far more dangerous than continuing it for another 2 weeks. Pair the brown bag review with the filtration question from a moment ago, and do them in the same appointment. Cascades and dosing problems feed each other directly. A dose that is slightly too strong produces a side effect, and the side effect is what attracts the next prescription. Correct the dose, and the reason for the second medicine may simply disappear. That is the quiet, unglamorous way medication lists actually get shorter. And this is why I asked you to stay until the end. The other 4 questions make each medicine on your list safer. This one asks whether the medicine needs to be on the list at all. It is the only question here that can make your list shorter instead of longer. 10 years from now, the difference between managing 5 medicines and managing 11 is not a paperwork difference. Very often, it is the difference between running your own household and needing somebody else to run it for you. Consider a typical case documented in the geriatric and rehabilitation literature. A 74-year-old woman is taking 9 daily medicines. Over roughly 8 months, she develops swollen ankles, unsteadiness when she stands, and a dry mouth that makes dinner an effort. Her family has quietly started doing her shopping, and she has stopped going to her weekly card game because the walk to the car feels unreliable. At a medication review, the timeline is laid out on paper, and a pattern appears almost immediately. The ankle swelling had begun within 2 months of a blood pressure dose being increased. A water tablet was added for the swelling. The dry mouth and the unsteadiness began within weeks of that addition. Nothing is stopped abruptly. The original dose is adjusted first under supervision, and the added medicine is tapered slowly across several weeks with a follow-up booked at 4 weeks. By the 12-week review, the swelling has settled, and her standing blood pressure drop has narrowed from about 25 points to under 10. Her daily list has gone from 9 medicines to 7. She is walking to the car without holding on to anything. And she is back at the card game, which is the outcome that actually mattered to her, and the one no lab result would ever have shown. Confusion is not inevitable. Dizziness is not character. Independence is defended. So here is exactly what to do, starting tonight. 5 steps, and every one of them carries a number. Tonight, take 1 sheet of paper and write the 4 columns. Name, purpose, year started, prescriber. Fill in as many rows as you can from memory, and leave the blanks blank, because the blanks are information too. Tomorrow, do the brown bag. 1 bag, every product you take, including the over-the-counter ones and the once-a-week ones. Set a timer for 15 minutes so it does not become an all-day project. This week, start the 14-day log for anything you began in the last 2 months. 2 numbers each night. Steadiness out of 10 and clarity out of 10. This week also, do 1 standing blood pressure check the safe way. 5 minutes seated, then readings at 1 minute and 3 minutes standing, with a counter or a sturdy chair right beside you. And within 30 days, book 1 appointment whose only agenda is the medication list. Open it with the number 1 question. Is anything here treating a side effect of something else here? Now think of someone in your life who is managing a long medication list. A parent, an aunt, a neighbor who mentions a new pill every time you visit. Send them this video and offer to hold the pen while they fill in those 4 columns. That single hour is worth more than anything you could buy them. Tell me in the comments which of these 5 questions you are asking first. Your answers decide exactly what I cover next. And if you want the science that a 12-minute appointment never has time to cover, subscribe to this channel. That is the entire mission here, and nothing is ever sold to you. This video is education, not a diagnosis. Your own doctor knows your history, so bring this list to your next appointment. I'm Kenji Vance. Don't forget to subscribe and live longer.